started the company here in Walton in 2003. We were a rental company and then we merged into the manufacturing as well. In 2016 we started WER manufacturing, and we manufacture a lot of liquid manure handling equipment. This machine we have here, it's a low pressure dribble boom. It's a liquid manure applicating machine. The older way of spreading manure was it was sprayed almost like a mist, and it was up in the air. So if you can smell, the odor is basically loss of nitrogen. So the idea is to put it down onto the ground with a lot less pressure, which reduces the atomization considerably, which means you're retaining your nutrients on the ground. It's good for the crops, it's less loss, but it's good for your neighbours too. They don't get the odor issues that they would otherwise. The quick version of the processes around here are a truck comes in and brings in raw material, whether it's flat plate, round tube, square tube. Then it gets cut and processed into its relevant parts and pieces. Those parts and pieces go into the shop. We have a lot of jigs and fixtures for building consistency in the parts. So all the parts get built up with the guys using jigs. They get cleaned up and prepped up, and then they get shipped out to generally galvanizing. When they come back, we more or less slow right down the welding and fabrication side, and we just devote everybody to assembly, because some of this equipment is so big now that it takes so many people to work on it, and it takes so much space in the shop too. So we focus on a lot of building, then we focus on a lot of assembly, then we go back to building of the next product, and so on. We're a small family orientated company. There's only 7 of us on payroll right now, and I think I travel the furthest to work. I travel 10 minutes. Everyone else is literally just down the road. So we're very locally, community orientated. We employ the locals, and we've got a pretty good employee retention. We have just got set up now where we're certified with the Ministry of Labour for apprenticeship training too. So we're going down the apprenticeship training route. For the last 2 years we've had co-op students here as well. So we work with the local school boards as well. We've just employed this year's co-op student, so now he's a full-time employee. The feedback that I get from my customers and my dealers is, because we're a small enough company, they can talk to the owner, who then talks to the design guy, that then talks to the guys in the shop. So if customers want to see changes, or maybe a custom build, which we don't do much of, because we're a lot smaller ship than some of the bigger companies, we can shift direction pretty quickly. I can sometimes have a design in production within weeks from the initial conversation. The problem with a lot of bigger companies, they have to go through all the different levels of management. They have to have board meetings and get things approved. I can more or less approve things at a moment's notice and start the chain reaction of design and build pretty quickly. So our response time to customers' needs is generally pretty quick. When they know they call, the guy that sells them is the guy that owns them, is the guy that feeds the information through production. It's a lot quicker process.